But now we're good. We're live. Okay. Ping went out like moments before we were live, which is fine. Let me just make sure on the dashboard I can see. Yep. Looks like we are live. I assume they can hear us. And all right. I think we've made it the 30 seconds or so. Hopefully anyone who joined immediately is through whatever ad is playing. So welcome everyone to the second battle of the TBL. We are here this time with the Atlanta Victory Stars, who will be taking on the Chicago Phalanx. And I am, of course, not going to be alone as a commentator. I am joined by Talon.
What's going on, everybody? How we doing tonight?
Friday night. This is what we all want to be doing at 9 p.m. on a Friday night, right? This is prime time right now.
Yeah, and if I wanted to sound like a really jackass wrestling commentator, it's Friday night! You know what that means! It's time for TBL Draft League Battle, and we've got a big battle here with the Atlanta Victory Stars versus the Chicago Phalanx, and it's going to be a good matchup. It's going to be a good big.
Yo, I cannot bring that energy right now. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't have it. I don't have it.
Trust me,
God,
that is
I
all
wish.
you're getting because that guy sucks.
God, I wish I had that kind of energy right now. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about this match before these two teams get started with the fight itself. On the left side of your screen is the Chicago Phalanx GawdBear, who has taken a couple seasons off from the TBL, but he's back. And he had first overall draft pick this season, and he picked Iron Valiant. To pair with that, he grabbed a whole bunch of other mons, including Tinglu, Empoleon, Pecharunt, Ditto, Rotom Heat, Scyther, Latias, Serena, and Dudunsparce. And because he took an S-tier Pokemon, he could only have 2 Terra Captains, which are Scyther and Dudunsparce. Talon, do you want to talk about the other side?
Well, of course, I'll talk about the Atlanta Victory Stars. They drafted with the 5th pick. They started out their draft with Garchomp. Then they took Cinderace, Clefable, rounded it out with Corviknight, Raikou, Virizion, Necrozma, Hisuian Zoroark, and 2 Terra Captains as well. They picked an S tier, so they can only get 2 Terra Captains. In their case, it will be Araquanid and Umbreon.
Honestly, it's a very classic Playmaker team, in my opinion. A lot of comfort mons here from what I know of Playmaker. Garchomp, Cinderace, Clefable, Umbreon. Pretty sure even Corviknight, Necrozma are all picks I know he's taken before in the TBL and had success with. So mons I know that he's going to be familiar with and make him a serious threat this season, because knowing what your team does and what their like synergies are can be just a huge advantage over people who are drafting mons they've never used before. Whereas on the side of the Chicago Phalanx, again, he's not been in the TBL for a couple of seasons, so I'm sure he's been playing an ungodly number of leagues. I think he's in like 5 or 6 actively right now. So I don't know what mons he's taken and what he hasn't. I assume he's taken everything at this point just because the number of leagues he's been a part of. But the mons themselves are really, really scary. And, you know, quick glance at the matchup, just like Iron Valiant looks like it goes really, really hard. And Pecharunt, you know, is just a super obnoxious mon to deal with. So
Now, you said ungodly. Was that a little bit of a reference to Playmaker's opponent in week number 1, Gold?
You know, I wish I could say that was an intentional pun. But no, GawdBear, the coach of the Chicago Phalanx, is I don't know, he's a really exciting person to watch. And so the thing is, both these coaches, I think the last time they played in the TBL, or
I think I was part of that league.
I believe you were. Yeah, I mean, both these coaches, pretty much every time they played in the TBL, make playoffs. So this is definitely going to be a high octane matchup with two people who really know what they're doing. So I'm really excited to get it started. They were already an hour delayed, not our fault. Blame them for that. Well, specifically
Well,
blame
of course,
Playmaker for
I mean,
that.
of course, we have to blame them.
Yeah,
for
blame
that.
Playmaker specifically for that. He just set the comp an hour late by accident, so they're just an hour late.
I mean, he can't tell the difference between an EST and a PST.
But anyway, if you want to let the coaches know that they can get started, I can pull up the other screen here. So we've got. I'm just trying to get this screen, perfect and stuff. And I'm not sure I love the way the Pokemon are aligned, but Playmaker's Mons are all really awkward shaped. But anyway, on the sidebar, you are going to see all of the Pokemon that are here in this match today. These are the 6 that we know as commentators that they are bringing. And again, I got some feedback after the last stream. Yeah, go ahead.
The very interesting thing about both their teams is they both had a very big wild card in the sense of GawdBear having that Ditto, which could literally be anything on Playmaker's side, and Playmaker having that Hisuian Zoroark. It could have been anything on his team.
Honestly, yeah, that would. What would be really interesting is if the Ditto comes in on the Hisuian Zoroark that is imposter to something else.
I mean, it definitely would have been possible. I mean, we do see, though, that GawdBear has that Iron Valiant, Ting Lu, Empoleon, Latias, Rotom Heat, and the Scyther. So he only brings Scyther as his Terra Captain, no Dunsparce.
Whereas on Playmaker's side, we've got the Araquanid, Umbreon, Hisuian Zoroark, Cinderace, Corviknight, and Garchomp. And the Umbreon, I believe, is the only Terra Captain on Playmaker's side that came here, so...
Nope, the Araquanid.
Araquanid's a Terra Captain. You're so right.
Yep, so Playmaker brings both of his Terra Captains, but God only brings one. So let's see what's going to happen here. Who is going to get that first win of TBL season? I don't even know what season it is at this point anymore.
Season 12, but I appreciate the excitement of not knowing. We have not quite reached the number we can't count to yet.
Well, that's true, but we do see it's going to be the Iron Valiant leading off for GawdBear against the Cinderace. So 2 fast Pokemon on the field to start this battle.
Yeah, and one thing I was thinking, I was trying to figure out the best Valiant set here, and one thing I noticed was Booster Energy just doesn't look great. So having it be a lead is actually kind of neat because it shows that, I ended up on the same wavelength as GawdBear, where it's not supposed to be a
that's big damage there from the Pyro Ball and big damage back from the Thunderbolt. But we also did see, very interesting there, the Cinderace was faster than the Iron Valiant.
It is naturally. It's got a couple base points of speed, so not a Choice Scarf Iron Valiant. Cinderace clearly running a ton of speed here, and revealing that it is not Choice Scarfed as well here by going for that U-turn on the switch into the Latias, getting huge damage. Playmaker 2 moves in has 75% on 2 different Pokemon.
That is absolutely massive for Playmaker to have 2 of GawdBear's biggest threats just completely damaged right now. And Iron Valley, I mean, with the Life Orb, it's already taken damage on its own accord. We saw how much Thunderbolt did, but I can't really see any way for Iron Valley to come in safely anymore.
No, and even if, I guess this Latias, there's a possibility of something like a Healing Wish or just a regular Wish, but that's not something Latias does very frequently, and it's not really what you want to use your Latias for. So,
we're going to see a switch out here on the Latias for GawdBear, and in comes that Iron Valiant again. So GawdBear just opting to sacrifice it, and Garchomp is using Shadow Ball.
We know.
That looks a little suspicious there. Judge.
Little sus. This is an interesting one. Yeah, I do the stats live because I want to keep track of them. But I don't want to type that this is Hisuian Zoroark that got the stat here because that feels like it's giving information,
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm just gonna leave that.
Judge, I'm reading the team sheet right now, and there's no Shadow Ball on this Garchomp here. I would like to get a game, please.
U-turn Garchomp. I love that animation. But for those who are wondering, Hisuian Zoroark is just disguised as the Garchomp temporarily. So it's not foul play. It is perfectly legal. But Garchomp U-turning into the Garchomp.
Real Garchomp coming out now.
Suspicious
and a trick from the Rotom here. This Rotom is tricking what though?
A toxic
orb. Ooh. So now the Garchomp is on a timer here.
And loses its loaded dice, which also just gives information directly to GawdBear that this thing probably has Scale Shot, because you don't run loaded dice for any other move on a Garchomp.
No, you don't. But also, I wonder if the Toxic Orb was there for something like that. Umbreon put it on a timer with the poison, because if Umbreon, even though it's a Terra Captain, if it gets poisoned before it terastallizes into something like a Terra Poison, it's still going to take toxic damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I apologize if this music is like super loud. My bad.
We're going to see Rotom switch out, and in comes Ting Lu. So Ting Lu's going to come out here, and a Swords Dance coming on this Garchomp.
Immediate Swords Dance on this Garchomp, saying, I don't care. Maybe I care that I'm on a timer, but I'm going to make the most of these few turns that I do have. Going to fire off a big attack.
This is going to be a +2 Garchomp here.
Yeah, and like, we saw the Latias set, or I guess I saw the Latias set, which is that it is like a Calm Mind Stored Power set. It doesn't have a way to just immediately threaten this Garchomp without trying to set up or something first. So not being able to, you know, have a lot of Pokemon that switch into this Garchomp and proactively can handle it, it's going to get big damage off here before it goes down to poison.
I mean, the other thing there is that we saw Earthquake at +2. It did just over 50%. Will it get the range here? It does. Ting Lu goes down. GawdBear is down 2 of his strongest Pokemon early, while this Garchomp, it's taking the toxic damage, but it's still set up.
Yeah, and Valiant, which is one thing that could have outsped this, is gone. Also, your Fairy type, so like Scale Shot looks a lot scarier now. And so I think it's just Scyther, right? Like, it's got to be Scyther.
Of course he does.
It's got to be Scyther. It's the only one that outspeeds the Garchomp.
No, I'm talking about the nickname.
Oh. My man's knows his audience.
Yeah, I mean, like, right now, I mean, the Scyther, I mean, you could go for something like a Scale Shot here just to get damage, because, I mean, you were at +2.
Scyther outspeeds, it very well could just KO the Garchomp. So goes out into the Corviknight to just not have to worry about that.
We're going to see a dual Wing Beat, but it's going to miss. Oh,
it's really unfortunate. 90%.
It feels like that move always misses the first time you click it.
Honestly, that is accurate. Dual Wing Beat, it's 90% accurate, but it feels way worse than that.
Yeah, I wonder if it has the same, like, coding as Play Rough. I thought I read something a while back that Play Rough always misses the first turn.
That feels like it should not be hard coded like that.
But we're gonna see a switch out here.
Rotom Heat, the
on the site there, and in
pretty
comes
perfect
the
Rotom
answer to taking this Brave Bird pretty. I mean, that was pretty good damage negated with the Rotom there on the resist for GawdBear. So, I mean, the only thing that really stops this Rotom right now is that Garchomp.
Yeah, but Rotom has ways to, you know, kind of manage the Garchomp.
Overheat and miss.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
This is not GawdBear's battle yet, but despite being down 6-4, despite those misses, I don't think GawdBear's out of this fight yet. I do think, obviously, getting an overheat off on the Corviknight would have been really nice, obviously. But I do think GawdBear has outs here. I think, you know, I think if that Latias starts getting set up, which he's definitely playing into an endgame for it, even though it's at like 40%, or if that Empoleon can get in safely and get some big damage off, I think those are going to be the keys to this game. Keeping this Rotom healthy so it can answer that Corviknight as well.
Absolutely. You got to keep this Rotom healthy for the Corviknight, because right now That's your best bet against Corviknight. Otherwise, Corviknight just goes absolutely crazy here. Garchomp is going to take a little bit more poison damage here. You could go for like a scale shot, but I don't know. I mean, we're going to see, and it's going to get... Will it get 3 hits, or will it just get 2? It gets 3. Will it get 4?
No loaded
Will it get
dice.
5?
Doesn't need it. Goes for the full 5.
Doesn't mean it gets 5.
Goes for the one scale shot, gets the full 5 hits. Overheat this time does connect, and that is going to be able to take out the Garchomp. But that 5-hit barrage from scale shot really going to put the Rotom heat a lot less able to check that Corviknight long term.
But more importantly, now you could bring something out. I mean, Rotom, you could go for a Volt Switch, but there's really no way to safely get it unless something like the Araquanid or the Corviknight had come out.
There's no way either of those would come out in this situation either. So, you know, the thing about Rotom is it does still outspeed a few things. If you can get it in safely later, potentially, it may very well get more opportunities to do big damage. But for now, going to have to allow something to take a hit. It's going to be the Empoleon here.
And Empoleon did take decent damage there. No special defense drop, which means no competitive boost right now. We're going to see U-Turn come out here, maybe trying to call like a water type move here, potentially.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what move you're expecting necessarily. Like a Surf would still do big damage to this Corviknight, so... We actually just see a straight flip turn. That's going to get the Rotom back in safely, like I was saying before. And, you know, another chance to fire off an Overheat, and the Resist, which is the Garchomp, is gone. Cinderace, I guess, also still resists that.
Or you can just click Volt Switch here, because Volt Switch is pretty free as well.
Yeah, no hazards on the field right now. So Rotom, just because it's, you know, low, doesn't mean it's dead yet.
And actually, now that I think about it, if Empoleon doesn't have the Stealth Rocks, which, I mean, we see the team sheets, it doesn't. Ting-Lu, because it's down, there's no way for GawdBear to get hazards up.
No way for GawdBear to get hazards up, and the only hazard that Playmaker side has left is webs. There's no rocker that's still alive, so...
We're going to see Corviknight just switch out here. Trying to maybe call the Overheat because of the Water Bubble ability on Araquanid.
But if you hit a Volt Switch here... Oh, Water Bubble hits the Willow.
Oh, wait, no. I forgot Water Bubble prevents you from getting a burn.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like you see it come up so quick. So you're like just predisposed to think that the move missed.
Rotom does
Switch doing good damage there on this Araquanid, but more importantly, it keeps Rotom around.
Rotom gonna switch out, be usable later. If it does have like T-Bolt, I know it's Trick. Have you seen all 4 moves? Trick, Willow, Overheat, Volt Switch.
Trick, Willow, Volt Switch. Yeah, oh yeah, we have.
So no T-Bolt. So Volt Switch doing just under 50% of this thing means that something else has to hit it. But for now, the Empoleon gonna come in.
No defense drop either there, so again, no competitive boost.
Competitive remains elusive here, but with Roost, this Empoleon certainly can, you know, test the waters a little bit more and see if it can't get a Liquidation to give it a defense drop at some point.
And actually, the Araquanid is faster than the Empoleon, so Empoleon goes down here. That's massive. That Araquanid is faster.
That's really surprising that Araquanid outsped there.
Yeah, because Araquanid is like base 40 something, isn't it?
Yeah, Empoleon's base 60. It's not like it's a blazing fast Pokemon, but you know, chose to, instead of going with speed, run a bulk investment on Empoleon. Araquanid running some speed investment. Clearly, no. Araquanid's an adamant nature. It is a minus speed Empoleon.
Oh.
It was a 0 speed IV minus speed Empoleon. I wonder why.
That is actually very interesting. I do wonder as well. But now the Scyther, you could go for like a dual wing beat here. But I really can't see any reason why. Because with the Corviknight still around, it's It's just resisted.
Yeah, it's just gonna. I mean, Corviknight just walls the Scyther. I feel like I might have even considered doubling into Rotom here.
All right, we're just gonna see a Swords Dance here.
Okay, what does Scyther get for Corviknight? I mean, it's Terra. It's a Terra Captain, so it gets Terra Blast. But unfortunately,
But Corviknight resists the potential Terra type on this Scyther, which is Terra Poison.
yes, we know that it is Terra Poison.
I don't know how much +2 Technician dual Wing Beat does to a Corviknight, but it probably just bounces off Corviknight's metallic feathers.
Oh, especially with a Citrus Berry, it may not even pop the Citrus Berry, but even with the Citrus Berry, at worst, Corviknight is back to exactly here. You know, it'll get back to 75%.
We're just gonna see a switch out here on the Scyther and back out to the Latias here.
We do see just another Brave Bird. Latias does survive it.
But now see, here's the real interesting dilemma for this Latias. It has the leftovers here. I don't think it could get off a Calm Mind or anything.
But
so
the benefit
this
of
is where it
that,
gets
the benefit that GawdBear has is that Playmaker does not know that.
Oh, how about that? The Reflect type.
So it is now a
this
Steel
Latias
Flying.
is a Steel and Flying type.
What does that mean though? Like, does that it just dies to Body Press now, right? Like,
no, it doesn't. It's Steel Flying, so it's neutral. But you are
just
right
so-
though, with the amount of HP it has left. Yeah, Body Press. We're just gonna see a Calm Mind here.
Playmaker going for the U-turn here is not going to kill, almost certainly. But
It just bounces off.
there's still a Cinderace in the background, so I just don't see how a Calm Mind can get you there.
Yeah, with Pyro Ball and I mean, those two moves do have chances to miss, though, however minute. But also, High Jump Kick is not super effective on this Latias. You would have to go for Pyro Ball, and I think Pyro Ball can miss like 5% of the time.
It's either 90 or 95% accurate. It can miss for sure. Playmaker not missing today.
It does not miss. Cinderace shoots and he scores a KO on the Latias.
And I have to believe that this is going to be all she wrote at this point in the battle. It does feel like there's just too many problems that the Phalanx are going to have to try to deal with here with the mons that they have remaining. But we do see a Terra coming out. First Terra of the battle is going to be on that Scyther. Scyther is going to Terra into the Poison type. Once that is revealed, I'm sure that the Corviknight feels even safer coming in than it did before. Now officially knowing that this is not Terra Fire or Terra Electric or something like that. And that U-turn still does decent damage. Scyther, not the bulkiest mon in the world.
No, and also I wonder if Playmaker, by doing that kind of damage, he understands that maybe the Scyther was not the Eviolite.
Yeah, I'm curious if he has any idea what the item is. If he's made any sort of guesses about that.
Dual Wing Beat doing just under 80 damage. So this is a 5-hit KO right now.
Now, the Scyther's not dead to a Brave Bird, probably. But, I mean, I don't know what you're going to do here. Playmaker, you know, a Haxy man. I've seen these two coaches. This is pretty much exactly what I would expect out of the hacks of these two coaches. Playmaker getting the positive side of the hacks. GawdBear getting the absolute worst possible hacks you could get in a battle. But,
I mean, that was big damage on the Brave Bird, bringing Scyther to the red. Scyther did survive. However, again, the only damaging move it has is Dual Wing Beat.
Yeah, and the thing about the TBL is that if you get a 4-0, you get bonus points for it. GawdBear needs to pull this back to a 2-0 to even consider getting a point, but if he can get it to a 3-0, he can at least prevent Playmaker from scoring a point.
And he gets a Dual Wing Beat, but it misses!
Oh my god. This man cannot catch a break right now.
Dual Wing Beat was not GawdBear's friend this week.
That is tragic. Well, for all the talking about the possibility of bringing this back to a 3-0, if I'm Playmaker here, I let the Rotom fire off its overheat right here, right now. You have 5 Pokemon. You can get that 4-0. It doesn't really affect anything. You know, the TBL differential is not as exact differential is not as important as just meeting those certain thresholds. And one of those thresholds is a 4-0 victory. So we do see that it is going to be the Umbreon coming in. Playmaker attempting to get the 1 kill for every single Pokemon on his roster achievement. six different Pokemon getting a kill in this battle if he gets the Umbreon 1 here. But this was just not a good battle for GawdBear. Not that I don't think GawdBear played poorly at all.
Oh no, not at all.
But just the hacks absolutely favored the Atlanta Victory Stars in this one. The big positive we can say is that GawdBear did not use his differential week this week. So,
but he also did just cancel the battle
with 1 turn left, you know, that's
I mean, it's basically
it was not a pretty thing for GawdBear to be a part of, so I do not blame him for that.
I do not at all. I do not at all either.
Yeah. No,
but
I feel bad for a couple of misses. So,
hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's good.
Welcome on in, both coaches. I'm sure there's things we want to and things we don't want to talk about depending on who we ask, but I think you know, first things first, congratulations Playmaker for picking up the first win of the season.
Thank you.
Getting 3 points. But yeah, I feel for you, GawdBear, and I was saying it during the broadcast, like watching this exact scenario of hacks play out feels very that one's Playmaker, that one's GawdBear, and this is how it always goes. I could have written it this way. This is how it's.
And then he also gets the 5-hit scale shot when his loaded dice is gone too.
The 5-hit scale shot, the double dual wing beat miss, the overheat miss, the mid roll to a high roll on the Tinglu, like
on the +2 Garchomp Earthquake.
Yeah, not that I could have done there. Whatever.
Just a you know, classic Chicago phalanx battle.
Yeah, I typically have bad RNG. That's the thing.
It's well established at this point.
I mean, I just felt bad for the dual wing beat misses more so than anything else, because it was just like, it feels like that move never wants to hit unless it's your opponent clicking it.
It's literally isn't it like a really accurate move too?
It's like 90, I think.
90%.
Yeah, 90. That's crazy. I missed every move that wasn't 100%. I think I missed this game at 5.
I think you landed the Willow into the water bubble.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah, what we just watched, the 1 out of 3 dual wing beats hitting is a 90% accurate move. Welcome to Pokemon.
And overheat as well.
But yeah, GawdBear, talk us through a couple of these sets. We didn't really get a chance to talk deeply about them, but because we as the casters have them now, I'm just kind of curious. The Scyther set, like choosing the like walk me through choosing the Terra type, like acknowledging that Corviknight was just going to be a hard wall for it.
It was more like, if I was a different Terra type, in my head I thought Clefable would come, and then so I felt like I was forced into Poison or Steel.
Got it.
That's kind of where it was at.
Yeah, and I don't know if it learns any other moves that would actually hit Corviknight more than neutrally.
I would have to run like Terra Fire or Terra Electric.
Yeah, you might be like.
I was just shocked not to see Clefable. I was just like, well, hopefully Corviknight is dealt with by the time I have to deal with this, and it just didn't work out that way because I couldn't hit a move.
Yeah, that doesn't help, certainly.
Yeah, like I think it literally like U-turned on my Rotom when I hit overheat, and it just dodged.
Yes, that is exactly what happened.
And I'm like, that thing would probably like die, or like it would be like extremely chipped down at that point where I could have done something with Scyther in that end game.
Yeah, and like when Hisuian Zoroark came out as the Garchomp, it just clicked Shadow Ball and U-turn. Like, just from my own VGC side, God, I was like, Judge, I'm reading the team sheet here. I think God needs the win on a team sheet error.
Bruh.
But yeah, I honestly like love these two teams. I think both of them are very well drafted. I hope for your sake, GawdBear, that this is not reflective of how this season is going to go for you. Like I really hope you got it all out this week. You know, shake it off and come back next week. Perhaps choosing some more accurate moves where possible.
Look, I got the trick and I got the click reflect type. I guess that's something.
You did. The reflect type was neat. It was really neat tech. For that audio sound.
I was hoping the Umbreon would have teared and then I could just store powered sleep with reflect type shenanigans.
Which is like a hard read on that Umbreon, but I really like it.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like the matchup either, to be honest. It was
Yeah, I looked at this in advance, and this matchup definitely looked tough on paper for your team. That doesn't mean I think your team is bad, though. I actually really like your roster.
No. I like my team too. I just think this matchup in particular, like with like Umbreon, Clefable, like a lot of shit, it was just hard to like deal with.
Playmaker's team is fat, dude.
That's Playmaker always drafts like fat teams. I feel like though.
I know it's a comfort space.
Yeah.
But Play, you're here as well. we cannot talk around you about you. We can talk to you.
Call me fat. See how it is, Gold.
Yeah,
He's
fat with
wrong.
a PH.
Yeah.
Can we bring that back? Is that a thing still, or is that so far gone that we shouldn't say anymore?
Bring it back. That was like what 2000s or something.
I know that's like that's. Hey, I'm a '90s kid. Like, oops, my 30s is showing.
Yeah, I'm not dude, but yeah. Yeah. No, I thought GawdBear like played good. Just unfortunate misses, and I would have been. I would probably throw my Switch to the wall if like after that overheat miss if I was GawdBear. So kudos to GawdBear for like keeping his Switch intact and yeah, just game one. And
I was just depressingly laughing during that game.
At some point,
That's all it was.
you have to. You know, you just gotta
It's just like, what is this game, man?
Sometimes the game just chooses a winner, and there's not a whole lot you could do about it. And then, yeah, not getting like a Shadow Ball or a Liquidation stat drop to pop competitive on the Empoleon either.
Yeah, it was just like
Just nothing.
Were you fishing for that at one point?
I mean, I felt like I was definitely trying for it at one point. I think the Liquidation was also a roll on my Empoleon, so I think we might have got another nasty roll there too.
What was the justification for minus speed nature with 0 speed IVs in Empoleon?
So I could get a slower flip turn versus like Corviknight and stuff.
Oh, I was trying to figure it out.
I was surprised.
That makes sense.
I was like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Rakuten must be running a little bit of speed to like creep the Empoleon. And then I looked at your set and I was like, nope, that Empoleon is just sassy natured and 0 speed IVs.
For a second there, I considered that was like, is a Rakuten Scarf? And then I was like, oh wait, I'm 0 speed. I'm silly.
But yeah, great game to you too. And again, congratulations to Playmaker. We are going to be back again tomorrow with more TBL action. If you are not in the server, come check it out. But tomorrow we have the double header going on of the London Shockwave taking on the San Diego Pachirisus. That's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Right afterwards is going to be my battle, the New York Empoleon taking on the Venus Ouijasaur. Whenever the first one finishes, the second one's going to start up right away. So probably about 4:30, but you know, flexible slightly. And then the last battle tomorrow is going to be the Rome Empoleons taking on the Canadian Ceruleages at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely come check those out. Going to be a lot of fun. It's a big day, Saturday, and then we still do have one battle left to schedule, which is going to be the Boston Red Rock and Atlanta Talonflames, who are going to be getting a little bit of an extension, so they're not going to be battling over the weekend, but early into next week. Monday or Tuesday. We haven't officially nailed that down yet, but we'll keep you all posted. Hopefully by the end of the streams on Saturday, we at least have an idea, but it's possible we won't, and that's okay. And then next Wednesday, we will be doing a recap stream of week 1 and getting into week 2. So a lot coming your way. It is TBL season once again, and first Haxie battle of the season is in the books. It's going to be the first of many, I'm sure. But do you two have anything you want to add before we duck out?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm fine too.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everybody.
Bye.